Liebster Jesu, wir sind hier, is a chorale for Pentecost and also with some more general uses for before a sermon or before school lessons. The text is from the mid-17th century and is a prayer for illumination. Liebster Jesu, wir sind hier, dich und dein Wort anzuhören, lenket Sinnen und Begier hin zu deinen Himmelslehren, dass die Herzen von der Erden ganz zu dir gezogen werden. Blessed Jesus, at your word, we are gathered all to hear you. Let our hearts and souls be stirred now to seek and love and fear you. By the gospel pure and holy, teach us, Lord, to love you solely. The setting of this chorale is special in a number of ways. To begin with, it uses a very particular texture. Most of the Orgelbüchlein chorales are in 4 voices, but this one is in 5 voices. It's one of only 2 chorales in the collection to be in 5 voices. The other is Christe du Lamm Gottes, BWV 619. In this setting, not only is it in 5 voices, but 2 of them are canonic. The chorale melody is presented not in a single voice, but in 2 together, with one voice leading and another voice following. These are the 2 top voices that you hear, that you heard during the performance. In this setting, the canon is exact. It's absolutely strict, in contrast to some of the other canonic settings in the Orgelbüchlein, where some adaptations are made to the following voice to allow it to make correct counterpoint. I will just let you hear some of that canon. That was the first half of the piece with just the 2 canonic voices. You can hear how the lower voice follows the upper one exactly. It imitates everything that the upper voice does. There are 3 accompanying voices as well. 2 are played by the left hand, and 1 is in the pedal. These have a very clearly accompanying function, but they're characterized by a particular motive that begins on the second quaver, on the weak quaver of the beat, and this gives a kind of sighing character. At the beginning, like this. The beginning is marked by a beat, of course, but after in the second half of the bar, then the sighing character becomes a little more evident. This sighing motif characterizing the accompanying voices. There are 2 versions of this chorale in the manuscript, in the original Orgelbüchlein manuscript, which I have a copy of here. This is the only such case of 2 such versions of the same chorale being preserved here. I'm playing the later one. The earlier one has the following BWV, number 634. The later one, the one that you just heard, is labeled distinctious, meaning more clearly. There's been some debate about what that may mean, but it probably means something very practical. It means that the setting is more easy to read in its original notation. The second one, the distinctious version, is written out on 3 staves rather than 2. This is because on 2 staves, a 5-voice texture is quite hard to read, and so writing it out on 3 allows the different voices to be visually separated out. Bach took the opportunity during the rewriting to make a very small number of changes as well, but the differences are very minimal. Nonetheless, some of them are quite telling. The later version removes a certain amount of decoration in the chorale melody, and this removal of decoration in turn allows the canon to be exact. In the earlier version, BWV 634, then the chorale, the canon as it's presented, is not absolutely exact between the two canonic voices. It also provides an opportunity for adding a number of extra psi motifs. That characteristic motif in the accompanying voices is added in a number of additional places where it was previously absent. The chorale is in two sections. Both are repeated, although actually the chorale melody does not demand that the second section will be repeated. As the chorale melody is presented as in its original chorale form, then the first phrases would be repeated and the second ones not. Nonetheless, Bach indicated a repeat also for the second half here. The same thing happens in a chorale by his cousin Johann Walter. The setting is quite repetitive in any case. Both sections end in the same way, and with the repeats of the sections themselves added, this gives a kind of hypnotic quality, a kind of tranquil sweetness which seems very clearly related to the theme of the chorale. At the same time, for a listener, it gives a chance to follow each voice of the canon in turn, which you may not have been able to do at a single hearing. As far as the performance is concerned, the original notation itself tells you to play the two canonic voices on one keyboard and the accompanying voices on another. Bach also added an additional dynamic marking in the Distinctious version, the renotated version, which specifically notes that the two canon voices should be played forte, loud, and that the accompanying voices should be quiet. It's pretty self-evident that you would do that anyway, but it's interesting that he took the trouble to add this extra, quite unusual notation. There are many options on this organ for how to register two canonic, or to make a loud, quiet combination, a combination with a clear melody and accompaniment kind of character. I chose one which uses a very special stop on this organ, the vox humana, this stop. And to that I added this effect called the tremulant, which creates an uneven wind pressure and gives an extra kind of expressivity to that sound. Gives with that particular stop combination a kind of sentimental character ultimately to the setting, but I think that one is quite appropriate considering the theme of the chorale.
Thank you for being part of the Orgelbuchlein project. This is more than music. It's a message of deep human emotions, from sorrow to joy, and a shared hope for a better future.
At the Conscious Foundation, we believe everyone deserves a peaceful home, and we think that music has the unique power to unite people in harmony. From the organ at St. Michael's Peace Church in Leuven, we bring this vision to life.
Through inclusive composition projects, regular concerts, and our annual Organ Marathon for Peace, we inspire connection and hope. One day, we dream of hundreds of organs worldwide joined together in a resounding call for peace.
Help us amplify this message by joining our Patreon community. Link in the description.